the shadowy corners of an ancient antique store, a chilling presence lurks. Among the cobwebbed shelves laden with relics of the past, Emily, a young woman with an unquenchable thirst for antique dolls, makes an eerie discovery. Her eyes catch the glint of porcelain under the dim store lighting, a bunny doll, its surface smooth and cold to the touch. This isn't just any doll. Its eyes, glassy and too lifelike, seem to hold 1,000 secrets, staring back at Emily with an intensity that sends a shiver down her spine. Despite its unsettling gaze, there's something undeniably captivating about it. Drawn to its mysterious allure, Emily can't help but feel that this doll, with its quaint faded dress and the slight crack running down one cheek, was somehow meant for her. With a mixture of trepidation and excitement, she decides to take it home, unaware that this innocuous act is the first step into a much darker world. Little did Emily know her fascination would soon turn into a frightful ordeal. As the moon casts a ghostly glow, the silent whispers begin. Emily's nights transformed into a haunting experience soon after the porcelain bunny doll crossed the threshold of her home. At first, the disturbances were subtle, a soft murmur here, a shadow flitting there. The doll, with its glassy, penetrating eyes, appeared to be merely a silent observer. But as the darkness deepened, so did the mysteries. Emily would wake to the faint sound of movement, the creak of floorboards, as if someone or something was pacing her room. She would turn on the light to find the doll, not on the shelf where she had left it, but on a windowsill, facing out into the night, as though it had been watching the stars. Rationalizing these occurrences as tricks of her mind seemed plausible at first. Yet each night as she lay in bed, the whispers became more distinct, not just sounds, but hushed tones speaking in an indecipherable language. Emily's sleep grew fraught with unease, her dreams invaded by shadowy figures. But the whispers grew louder, and the movements more deliberate. Midnight strikes, and with it comes a terrifying revelation. As the clock chimes its haunting melody, Emily stirs from her sleep. The moonlight filtering through the window casts ghostly shadows across her room, and there, at the foot of her bed, sits the antique bunny doll. Its porcelain face, bathed in an eerie glow, turns slowly towards her. The eyes, glassy and almost lifelike under the moon's pale light, fixate on Emily with an intensity that chills her to the bone. Silence stretches for a heartbeat too long before the doll's lips begin to move. "I have been waiting for you, Emily," it whispers in a voice that is both ice and fire. "You have freed me from my prison, and now you will be my playmate forever." Panic grips Emily, her heart pounding like a drum in her chest. She wants to run, to scream, but fear roots her to the spot. The doll's eyes glow brighter, its sinister smile widening as it speaks of games and darkness. Emily's home was no longer her sanctuary, but a playground for the cursed doll. With each passing day, the line between nightmare and reality blurs. Emily's world had spiraled into a realm where the sun never seemed to rise, overshadowed by the looming presence of the cursed bunny doll. Initially a quaint relic, the doll had become a puppeteer, pulling at the strings of Emily's sanity. Night after night, the doll whispered dark secrets and commanded Emily to partake in macabre games under the cloak of darkness. These were not the innocent teasings of a child's plaything, but rather sinister rituals that chilled the bone. Emily found herself drawing symbols on the walls, symbols that seemed ancient and forbidden, their meanings obscured yet deeply unsettling. Her friends began to notice the change. Phone calls went unanswered, and visits were met with a cold, distant version of the vibrant Emily they once knew. Her eyes, once lively and bright, now mirrored the glassy, empty stare of the doll. Conversations with her became fragmented, filled with cryptic mutterings and eerie silences. As Emily's isolation deepened, so did her descent into the doll's twisted world. The once beloved corners of her home now turned into shadowy recesses where whispers seemed to echo and the air felt thick with a sinister chill. Each day bled into the next, indistinguishable, as if time itself was ensnared alongside her. In this chilling dance of control, Emily lost herself bit by bit to the doll's malevolent whims. Emily was trapped, ensnared in the web woven by her once beloved doll. In a quest for answers, Emily uncovers a dark history. Delving into the origins of the doll, she traced its past to a long-forgotten attic filled with occult books and arcane symbols. There, she discovered that the doll once belonged to a woman shrouded in mystery and madness. This woman, known in hushed tones as the Widow of Wickersham, had dabbled deeply into the dark arts, seeking to breach the boundaries of our world. Emily learned that the doll wasn't just a toy, but a crafted conduit, a portal cunningly designed to tap into a realm of shadows. The widow had used the doll to summon an ancient evil, binding it to the porcelain figure as a gateway back to our reality. The chilling realization dawned on Emily. By bringing the doll into her home, she had unwittingly opened the door to this malevolent force. Armed with knowledge, Emily knew what she had to do. Determined to end the nightmare, Emily faces the cursed doll, with every ounce of her being pulsating with a mix of fear and resolve. She confronts the eerie porcelain figure that has tormented her days and haunted her nights. The moonlight casts ghostly shadows as she holds the doll before her, its glassy eyes reflecting a sinister gleam. Emily's hands tremble, but her voice steadies as she speaks to the doll, vowing to end its reign of terror. She throws it against the wall with all her might, shattering it into pieces. Silence falls, a heavy, suffocating silence. She exhales, a momentary relief washing over her, thinking the ordeal is over. But the pieces begin to twitch and crawl, slowly, chillingly pulling themselves together. Emily watches, horror-struck, as the shattered porcelain starts to reform. Before her eyes, the doll reconstructs itself, each piece finding its way back with an unnatural precision. The reassembled doll stands up, its eyes now burning with a ghastly light, more menacing than ever. In a low, echoing voice that seems to come from the depths of another world, the doll speaks. Its words are chilling, promising an eternity of games in a shadowy realm. I am not of this world, Emily, and neither are my limits. You cannot destroy what isn't bound by your mortal constraints. The doll's final words echoed in the darkness. Playtime is never over. As one terror ends, another begins. Just as the police sigh in relief, believing the nightmare is over with the discovery of Emily's remains, a faint whisper cuts through the silence. The air grows cold, and from the darkness a new figure emerges, an identical doll to the one that tormented Emily. But this one bears a more sinister grin. This twin doll, with eyes as black as the void and a smile that could curdle blood, stands before the horrified officers. Its voice, a dark echo of its predecessor, slices through the air. My brother may have been defeated, but I have come to continue the game, and this time no one will escape. The room chills as the doll's form begins to twist unnaturally, its silhouette warping into something grotesque and terrifying. The police can only watch in horror, trapped in the unfolding nightmare. As the screen fades to black, remember, some games are never truly over. Beware the twin bunny doll, for it waits in the shadows, ready for its next player.